How we breathe plays a big part into how our pelvic floor functions. So instead of always just looking at strengthening or conditioning or creating a more flexible pelvic floor, why don't we look at the rest of the body? And in today's video, we're going to be looking at the thoracic spine, and I'm going to give you 3 tips to allow it to become more flexible so that in turn, your pelvic floor can become more functional. Let's stand with our feet directly underneath hip joints, arms resting down by our sides. Close your eyes and take a moment just to scan. Scan your body, notice how you feel, emotionally, mentally, physically. And then we shall open our eyes, and using your fingertips, you're just going to begin to tap the left side of your rib cage, or your ribs. Perhaps a nicer image than a cage. Tapping your ribs, all 12 of your ribs on this left side. And imagine what lives inside of your ribs. You have your lungs, you have your heart, and then what lives at the bottom of the ribs? Your diaphragm, your respiratory diaphragm. Beautiful. Bring your arms down and then observe, how do you feel after 20 seconds of tapping on that left side? Has it influenced posture or your capacity to breathe deeper? Let's do the other side. So tapping all 12 of these ribs on this side. So the more mobility we can have in our rib cage, the more mobility the diaphragm will have, the more mobility and better function the pelvic floor will have. So when we want to improve the function of one system, we can look at that system, but really we need to look at the whole. A whole body approach is necessary, especially with pelvic floor conditioning. Let's bring arms down and just notice posture, breath, awareness of your thoracic. Now bend your knees a little, take your hands onto your shoulders, and we're going to bounce a bit with the knees and just begin to sway from side to side. Rotate from side to side. You don't need to force anything. Be gentle with yourself. And just imagine these ribs swinging from side to side, beautifully mobile. And then within your ribs, you've got those lungs swinging from side to side. And below your ribs, on the inside, you've got the diaphragm swinging side to side. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1, come back to the center, bring arms down, just take a moment to notice breath. And now place your hands on the outside of your ribs. And I'm going to invite you to breathe into your ribs, not just the side of your ribs, but 360, front, back, side, top, bottom. So here we go, we'll take 5 deep breaths, breathe in through your nose and into your lungs and into your ribs. And then breathe out fully. We'll breathe in and out through our nose. But moving ribs, moving lungs, moving diaphragm as much as you can. And even though you may not yet feel it, your pelvic floor will be responding because it's the bottom of your core. It's an antagonist to your diaphragm. Beautiful. Bring your arms down. Notice posture. Notice energy. Notice inspiration. So that's just 3 simple tricks that you can do anytime, anywhere. Breathing in and out through the nose, tapping ribs, and a little bit of thoracic movement, just to remind you to slow your breath, to breathe deeply, to really support that beautiful pelvic floor function. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more tips, you can subscribe below and check out my ultimate pelvic floor plan.